Today, we're diving into the incredible story of Samoa. It's a journey that stretches across thousands of years, from its ancient beginnings as the heart of Polynesia all the way to its modern independence. And holding it all together is a unique and powerful cultural code. And when I say thousands of years, I mean it. We're talking about a 3,000-year journey of resilience and identity. At the center of it all is Fa'a Samoa, or the Samoan Way, which has really been the guiding star for these islands through, well, everything. So to really get a handle on Samoa today, you've got to go back, way back. Back to its foundations, to a time when it was a central hub in the massive Pacific Ocean, a place many call the Cradle of Polynesia. Just look at this timeline for a second. The depth of history here is just staggering. Around 1000 BC, the Lapita people, the ancestors of all Polynesians, first settled these islands. Then you flash forward almost 2,000 years to 950 AD, and you see them defending their home, with Chief Malietoa Savia fighting off Tongan invaders. And that victory, it established a chiefly title that's still important today. It's wild to think it was another 800 years before a European explorer even laid eyes on the islands. Okay, so at the very heart of this entire story is this one concept, Fa'a Samoa. It's a 3,000-year-old cultural blueprint. Think of it as the operating system for society. It's not just about old traditions, it's the living, breathing core of Samoan identity, and it puts family and community above everything else. You really have to remember this because it's the key to understanding everything that comes next. So you have this ancient, deeply rooted society, and then the world comes knocking. The arrival of foreign powers dragged the islands into a messy and, frankly, devastating colonial tug-of-war. By the late 1800s, Samoa's location made it a hot commodity. You had Germany, who was all about the profitable copra trade. Then there was the United States, which needed a strategic spot for its navy to refuel. And of course, Great Britain was right there, trying to keep German influence in check. Samoa basically became a pawn on a global chessboard for empires thousands of miles away. And what was the result of all this squabbling? The Tripartite Convention of 1899. Without a single Samoan in the room, the islands were just carved up. Germany got the Western Islands, what we know as Samoa today, and the United States took the Eastern Islands, which became American Samoa. Just like that. This picture here signals the next big shift. World War I breaks out in 1914, and German control vanishes overnight. At Britain's request, New Zealand swoops in, takes over, and begins a whole new and very difficult era of foreign rule. But here's the thing you have to understand. Samoans did not just sit back and accept this. Out of this foreign domination rose one of the most important independence movements in the Pacific, a fight for freedom that was peaceful, organized, and absolutely determined. Now, the spark that lit this fire of resistance was a horrifying tragedy. In 1918, a New Zealand ship carrying the Spanish flu was allowed to dock without quarantine. The virus tore through the islands, killing an estimated 22% of the entire population. Think about that. Almost 1 in every 4 people. This catastrophic failure was laid squarely at the feet of the administration and fueled an unstoppable desire for self-rule. And so the Maru movement was born. What's so amazing is that it was a non-violent movement. It was all about peaceful civil disobedience. They set up their own parallel government, they boycotted colonial shops, they refused to pay taxes, all for one single clear goal: independence. Their mission was perfectly summed up in this powerful slogan: Samoa Mo Samoa, Samoa for Samoans. It was their rallying cry, a simple, direct, and completely undeniable demand for their right to rule themselves. But the struggle came to a heartbreaking climax on December 28, 1929. During a peaceful demonstration, New Zealand police opened fire on the unarmed crowd. The High Chief, Tupua Tamasese Lealofi III, was among those killed. But this day, which became known as Black Saturday, didn't break the movement. No, it created a martyr, and it hardened Samoa's resolve like never before. So after decades of struggle and peaceful resistance, the tide finally started to turn. Samoa was on the verge of forging its own path, and a new era was about to begin. And the result of all that sacrifice was absolutely historic. Samoa's victory was a huge deal, not just for its own people, but for the entire Pacific. It became the very first Polynesian nation in the 20th century to gain its independence, paving the way for so many others.
The official date was January 1st, 1962, After almost 50 years under New Zealand and decades of determined resistance, Western Samoa was finally a sovereign nation.
And, what happened next is pretty remarkable. You might expect a lot of bad blood, but instead, the two countries signed a treaty of friendship. It was a conscious decision to move past a very difficult history and build a new partnership based on respect.
Which brings us right back to where we started. Because through all of it, the colonial powers, the tragedy, the long fight for independence, one thing was always the foundation of Samoan identity: the enduring strength of Fa'a Samoa.
These are the pillars that held it all together. You have Aiga, the extended family, which is everything. There's Fa'amatai, the chiefly system that provides structure. There's the core belief in Tautua, which means service to your family and community. And tying it all together is Fa'alolo, mutual respect. This is the cultural framework that ensured Samoa would not only survive, but thrive.
So, we'll end with this thought. In a modern world that is so often focused on the individual, the 3,000-year-old story of Samoa offers this powerful counter-narrative. It's a testament to the incredible strength you can find in community, in service, and in a shared identity. So the question is, what can we all learn from the Samoan way?